When rewatching the Star Wars films, do you ever think, man, what if that had happened instead of that happening? And played out the scenarios in your head to be like, wow, imagine if had happened. Well, that's exactly what I want to do in this new series of Star Wars What If. What's up everyone, Chris from Cinema Hooked, and if you're new to this channel, I love Star Wars. I do movie reviews, TV show reviews, but I love Star Wars, and that's what I love doing for content. And now is my first installment of my Star Wars What If series. I don't have my exact format. I've got ideas of how I want to do this, so this will be my first one. I'm going to try some different ideas here, see what works, see what you guys like, and if you have any changes you think that I should make to the format, I'd love to hear it in the comments. And on today's video, I want to explore what if Mace Windu had ended Palpatine in his throne room in Revenge of the Sith, and play out 3 different scenarios that I think could have happened, and which one would we want to happen. So sit tight and let's talk about it. Now, I chose this specific scene because Revenge of the Sith is one of my favorites to rewatch. It's also the movie I have ranked #1 in my 11 film Star Wars rankings. If you did miss that video, you can check it out right there. Me and my buddies spent about an hour and a half dissecting every single film and talking about what we did and what we didn't like, and it was a lot of fun. It's a long video, but if you like long discussions about some of your favorite Star Wars films, I think you'll really like it. But every time I watch Revenge of the Sith and it gets to that scene where Mace has him down on the ground and he's defeated, like he could take him down, but he wants to arrest him and stand trial and all that, and Anakin comes in, cuts off the hand, force lightning out the window. Unlimited power! We all know how it goes, and it makes me mad every time. So I want to explore 3 different scenarios of if Mace had ended Palpatine, what could have happened? I have 3 options. Option A, after Mace finishes off Darth Sidious, Anakin comes in, falls to his knees just like we saw in the film, absolutely defeated, thinking, I just lost my one chance to save my pregnant wife, and just loses all hope. And we can explore that further. Or option B, after Mace finishes off Darth Sidious, he's filled with rage, but for the same reasons. He's not sad about it, now he's mad about it, and we get an epic lightsaber duel between Mace and Anakin. Or option C, since Order 66 was not commanded by Darth Sidious, we get Obi-Wan Kenobi returning to Coruscant to where Anakin can become a master. Yoda, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Mace, they're still on the Jedi Council. The war is over. We can explore that further. So first, let's start with option A. In this scenario, we see Anakin just emotionless, somber, sad. He's lost all hope. Picture him in the movie when he says, "What have I done?
What have I done?"
Except, what will I do? Because while he didn't save Padme with the original events that played out, he thought he could. And now he just knows he can't because the guy that promised him the secret to living just died. And now he can't save his wife. So just being the defeated person he is, having no hope, he can't possibly be a Jedi anymore. He decides what little time he has left with Padme, he's going to spend it with her, try and give birth to his child because he does not know at this time that he has twins. And they go to Naboo, try and live out whatever semblance of a life that they can have. Much to Anakin's surprise, his leaving of the Jedi Order, not having to be in a secret marriage anymore, their love flourishing on Naboo, she's able to give birth to 2 beautiful, healthy twins and live out a long, peaceful life on Naboo. He's sworn off the Force, sort of like his son Luke did in The Last Jedi, which, you know, that's... not going to talk about that right now. That's one nice, happy ending that I could see for Anakin. He leaves the Jedi Order, just like his Padawan Ahsoka Tano did, and the galaxy, the Republic, it's flourishing. There's no empire. Obviously, we don't get the rest of the movies that we're told, but you could tell a different story and it'd be a whole different set of events. So under option A, what do you think would happen if Mace had defeated Darth Sidious and Anakin leaves the Jedi Order? Do you like that scenario? What would you pick? Moving on to option B. Now, option B, that's the exciting one. That's the very cinematic one. That's the big fight one. So instead of the big battle on Mustafar between Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker, and Obi-Wan Kenobi, now it's Anakin Skywalker versus Mace Windu, which would be absolutely epic. Anakin filled with rage, obviously harnessing in that dark side that we see little increments building up throughout the Clone Wars animated series. We see those little bits of the dark side just creeping in there. But now, in this moment of rage, just all directed at Mace Windu for taking away his one chance to save his life. Now he's channeling all of that at Mace Windu, who, if you know this, he has a controversial form that he does his lightsaber dueling in. It kind of absorbs the dark force of the person he's going against. So it opens them up to that same rage, but he enjoys the thrill of the fight, I should say. And him channeling that rage just like Anakin, I mean, it would be an epic battle because the lightsaber duel between Mace and Sidious wasn't that great. I thought the Yoda and Sidious one was quite a bit better, but Mace is still awesome. And, when we see him take down like Jango Fett, that was really cool. So, but Anakin Skywalker versus Mace Windu, absolutely epic. Now, Obi-Wan Kenobi, he was able to beat Anakin / Darth Vader on Mustafar. Do you think that Mace Windu would be able to also beat Anakin in this? While filled with rage, obviously he may lose sight of things and make a misstep just as he did on Mustafar. So that's option B. But within option B, I wonder, if Anakin won against Mace, what do you think Anakin's actions would be? Would he try and take Darth Sidious's place as a Sith leader and eventually trying to get an apprentice and form his own rule of two? Or if Mace had beat him and Anakin goes down, what happens then? Let me know. So now option C, Mace defeats Darth Sidious, Anakin comes in, and instead of feeling rage or feeling despair because he lost that one chance, he feels this subconscious relief, almost happiness about Sidious's downfall because he was corrupting Anakin. Anakin knew, deep down he knew that what he was starting to lean towards was wrong, and he was questioning himself. He just wanted to save Padme, but Sidious being gone, I feel like Anakin in this scenario could have a sense of relief and, all right, it's over. Like, we took down the Sith Lord, and now, the war's over. There's no Order 66. Him and Obi-Wan are still super tight. Maybe Anakin still leaves the Jedi Order because he's done with the secrecy. He's seen what it can do to himself, corrupting himself. And we can get a little bit of the same option A where maybe he leaves the Jedi Order and then goes off and marries and he has his twins and raises a nice family. Or perhaps they make an amendment to the Jedi because, I believe it's in Attack of the Clones, Anakin tells Padme that the Jedi are actually encouraged to love and how he kind of sees the conflict and what they believe in. So maybe it's just out in the open. Like, hey, I'm a Jedi master, but I have a wife and I have kids and I'm going to train them in the ways of the Force. That would be an interesting scenario for me. I think it would just be cool to see that him and Obi-Wan Kenobi never had that falling out. I mean, obviously the way events played out in Star Wars, that's awesome. We got some awesome films in there. We got some awesome moments, some awesome drama. We got some really cool stuff in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show,
Anakin's gone. I am what remains.
Love that. But I'm curious to know, of those three options that I just listed, and we could dive into deeper detail in the comments, but if you have a scenario that you're wanting me to explore in a future What If episode that I do, or for this specific one that I chose, what if Mace defeated Darth Sidious, what do you think would happen? What would you want to see explored? Would you want to see Anakin become the next Sith Lord? Would you want him and Padme to rule the universe together? Do you think Padme would even go along with that? Let me know down in the comments. And if you have any critiques about this, this is my first video like this doing a what if series. So if you have any suggestions, I am all ears for it because I just want to have fun with you guys. I want to nerd out and talk about Star Wars because we can only talk about the 11 films that exist so much. So I thought doing a what if series would just get the conversation going to explore different possibilities and just kind of making our own fun fan fiction type of story. So I hope you liked this video. If you're new to this channel, I'd love it if you hit that subscribe button down there and hit the little like button like the sign there says. I love talking Star Wars. So until next time, I'll catch you guys down in the comments. Bye.